How's it going, Gothamites? Welcome to a brand new Gotham update. Now, this is one of those breaking news kind of things that I had to do on the moment because we've got our first look at Shane West's Bane in Gotham. And what I have to say is, as usual, or like 9 out of 10 times, the Gotham department, in terms of their costume design and stuff, have knocked it out of the water. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of their design in terms of like the Scarecrow costume, Mr. Freeze, and everything like that. They do amazing jobs, like, visually. And now you guys have known, I haven't been, in terms of when I first heard Bane was coming to Gotham, I wasn't like, holy crap, in fact, I thought it couldn't work. But I'll get to that a little bit later in terms of, like, rehashing over the stuff we already know about Bane. But here it is, guys. Shane West as freaking Bane, and he looks great. It definitely is like somewhat of a brand new kind of iteration, and that is what Gotham is quite known for. And I wouldn't expect anything different in any kind of form, just because when you bring a character to screen, you always do kind of try and keep a comic book accurate. For example, you can see he's got like some form of mask on here. You can see like the Venomy kind of tubes, but yet again, it's like this different kind of iteration that's been brought to screen. But before I get into this full breakdown, guys, be sure to subscribe to this channel for more updates just like this in Gotham Season 5, and be sure to like the video if you do go on to enjoy it, and just like it in terms of if you like this freaking costume and you're excited for Season 5 to come. So I have actually been waiting for something like this to come out, because obviously there hasn't been as much Gotham stuff to talk about since I've already been over the New York Comic Con stuff. We did actually get a tease of Shane West like Bane glove, but I thought, okay, I can't really make a video out of that. Now, say what you will about how you feel about Bane coming into Gotham already, and I'll get into that a bit later in terms of how my mind's been kind of changed a little bit. Now, I do really like the mask. Now, obviously, it's like changed up in a way. It's kind of got this like transparent kind of layer over it, but under that, right in the middle, you can actually see that metallic kind of breathing functionality kind of thing. But what I am fascinated by is the way that they've represented the tubes all over, and what we are most likely obviously getting here is the actual Venom drug. Now, in Gotham, they have kind of teased something like this before with Viper, and that was in Season 1. That was actually really, really cool and quite strong of a story to start Gotham off with, because if you remember in Season 1, that made people strong. Like, I swear this guy was lifting up this ATM machine or something, but what it did is it wore off, and then like that guy got crushed, I think. So then they were teasing that Viper was this like, you know, prototype to Venom, and I think that was obvious anyway, and how it was like this like off-site Wayne tech facility or whatever that was creating it, and then they teased that Venom was like on the way by the end or something like that. And then somehow this is all gonna have to tie into Season 5 with Shane West coming to Gotham during No Man's Land, and he will obviously get his hands on like a hold of this stuff, and that is why he'll be super pumped here. And now it is interesting the way they've kind of laid it out here, like all the wiring or like the tubes that I'm guessing the Venom will be going through here is kind of like central in his chest or in his torso, whatever you want to say. The reason why I'm saying that is because normally, obviously, with Bane, it's traditionally like going round to his back area, but you could argue these tubes are still going around to some device or outlet of Venom that could be pulsing throughout these tubes into his front here. We do see a couple of wires go on the back of him as well, which is, you know, inferring that there is still some stuff going on at the back as well as the front. Now, Shane West is hench anyway, but I am wondering if they've already given him a bit of padding on his right shoulder there. It definitely does look like it's poking out a bit more, so I'm wondering if this is him already slightly venomed up, but without like what I like to say is the sheen of the screen or emotion. We haven't got the effects or the post effects of what they're going to apply to this, so I do wonder if they've given him a bit more broadness when he's got this Venom tech on him. He really does seem like he's looking with such conviction. He's definitely he's got this menacing presence. You can see like an army background there as well. So if you didn't already know, guys, in this version, this is why I didn't think Bane would necessarily work, because obviously in the comics he like grew up in Peñadura. After all the trials and tribulations he hears about in there, and then hears about Batman, there's so much stuff to it, but Batman isn't even around here, and yet he's in Gotham. So I was thinking once upon a time, I was like, well, yeah, I know Gotham, you change stuff up, but I don't know if you can change this character's origin up to the point where I would like it. But interestingly, they are still incorporating this character's story in quite a cool way in terms of how Gotham does it with the existing characters, but, you know, making it somewhat unique, whilst still maintaining elements of the classic tale. Like, you know, there is still going to be an actual episode called Peñadura. I think that's episode 5. I could be wrong there. There's an episode called I Am Bane. That reminds me, like, I truly believe that this isn't like when Shane West would first come to Gotham. I think that this is going to be around the I Am Bane episode, if not the I Am Bane episode. or at least towards episode 7 or 8, towards the end of season 5. Because when Bane, or should I say Eduardo, because that's going to be Bane's name in Gotham season 5, I think when he comes to Gotham, he's going to be not obviously jacked up like with all this equipment on straight away. He's going to be coming to Gotham to meet Jim Gordon. They used to actually serve in the military together. That is one way in how this is going to be like a new unique story. Now, I'm not saying this is predictable because I could be completely wrong here, but obviously I think when he arrives there with his little military strategic mind and his troops and stuff, and he's going to try and essentially probably shape Gotham in a way and see it as an opportunity to do a few things, but he's not going to be maybe the person Jim remembered. I think whether we're going to get flashbacks or not in terms of the episode Penny Adura in episode 5, that would be super interesting to know. Did he actually, when he was serving the military and when Jim left the military to get away from all of that and he said goodbye to Eduardo, did something happen to Eduardo in such a way that they're changing up the story where he served time in Penny Adura and that changed him, and when he got out of there, the first thing he wanted to do after he heard about Gotham going to shit is come to Gotham. So it's kind of similar in that story, but just minus the Batman. So it is different, but I'm down for it. At first, I didn't like the idea of it, but they are making it work in terms of Gotham's new forged path of canon here. Some things they do really, really well. Some things they don't. So we'll have to wait and see here. But I do have a good feeling about it. And this suit here that he's wearing is really, really, really cool. And it looks like they are going all out with Shane West. I'm just so impressed. It looks really, really badass. But I've already seen comments say, seriously, Gotham, what the hell, blah, 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 blah. I think the impulsive reaction, if you're not a Gotham fan or if you're a major traditionalist of these characters, is like, Gotham, what the F are you doing? Bane isn't supposed to be here right now. What the hell, what the hell, what the hell? But then once you get over that, that's not really Gotham's about. You kind of understand, like, that they're forging their own path with the Joker, and you know, freaking all kinds of other characters. I mean, freaking Mr. Freeze's wife is dead. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's different. It's not traditional comic canon, and it wouldn't necessarily be. And this is what I say to a lot of people as well. When would it always be fun and fresh and new if you just copied and pasted all the time? Why not make a new show with keeping traditional elements but changing some things up at the same time? That way you can tell a new and exciting story for fans. But I guess some people, and not all people, want to jump on that bandwagon. Now, the only thing that I can't figure out is how will he actually get hold of the drug that was Viper and turned into Venom behind the scenes of the previous seasons? How will Shane West get a hold of that? Like, I understand Shane West is Eduardo and he's Bane and he's going to be coming here, blah, 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 doing this, doing that. Jim's going to have a history with him, blah, blah, blah. But how's he going to get hooked on Venom? Where was Venom all this time? Is it just going to be a thing where he's in Gotham? It could be as simple as this, where this is just a theory, making it up as I go along, where he's in Gotham, it's no man's land. They come across abandoned Wayne Tech place, and this is just during some episode where Eduardo and his team are going out there with Jim or something like that, right? They take over a sector, recover it from a villain or something like that. And then they find the prototype Viper, or like the finished version, which is Venom. And then they hear that it was a drug that was meant to enhance soldiers or whatever. And then I can just imagine he takes it, and then like he might get hooked on it, and then he becomes this even more corrupt version of like the person before who he was, with all these ideals in terms of how he wanted to fix Gotham in his mind. But now it's hardcore, and yeah, he's going to be forever Bane after that and a bit of an arsehole. But you know what I mean? I just can't figure that out. So I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments below. How do you think they're going to introduce the actual Venom into this season? It's probably nothing like what I just said. I'm sure in Eduardo/Bane's mind, he's just thinking that he's helping Gotham, and this Venom drug is just going to help him take on and clean up Gotham even more, better than what Jim Gordon and the current GCPD who are there could. And like, he's brought his military guys in, and we're going to see more of that Bane we know, just in a new kind of canon, which I'm very looking forward to see now. Now, at New York Comic Con as well, John Stevens did say that he's actually been waiting for this for years. Like, he's been pinning, you know, Warner Brothers or whoever about the rights for Bane, and they finally got it in season 5. And I do, when I talk about stuff like this, people in the comments down below, like you guys, often say, well, how can they, if they can do this, why can't they do that for Joker or whatever like that? Well, it's just some characters, I guess, they're more easier to let go with the rights for, like, fine, you can do this, but with this, we're going to hold it a bit more dear to our hearts. Why? there's all kinds of reasons, but we still have yet to see what season 5 will bring us in terms of the Joker. This is just a side comment. Who knows? They could have actually given Gotham a lot more leeway, and they actually might be turning Jeremiah and Echo into that duo we know instead of that inspiration arc. But that all yet remains to be seen. But it has been said, I believe, by Cameron himself that he will be in that 10-year time jump. Now, whether that's as Jeremiah or like a new person, I don't know. But that's super interesting to me. Super, super interesting. It's not like I didn't expect it, but I just didn't think about it. But now it's dropped in my head. It's like, okay, there's going to be a Cameron Monaghan, basically, person, probably Jeremiah, I don't know, when Bruce is a 28-year-old Batman. So that's going to be super interesting that they're going with that. And does this mean we're actually going to get that introduction of the Joker, considering this is 10 years down the future, and Cameron Monaghan is still in that episode playing someone, most likely Jeremiah though. But anyway guys, that is the video. If you enjoyed it, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button, and just hit that like button in general if you're excited for season 5 and you liked what you saw in this video with Bane, and you're excited for Jeremiah being in, well, Cameron being in that 10th episode. We're gonna have to wait and see that. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this if you don't want to miss out on anything Gotham season 5 and other comic book nerdy stuff. Links to follow me on like Twitter and stuff are in the description down below, plus all other kinds of places like Discord and blah blah blah. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.